Okay.
How's it going, Dave?
What is today? Thursday, so it's like day 4 of, I think it's just a head cold, but it's been a fearsome thing to behold, just the amount of, not to gross everybody out, but nasal mucus just pouring out of me, literally like a faucet. I have never seen the like of it before. I suspect it's God's way of telling me that if I won't take days off, He's going to make me sick for 3 or 4 days every couple of months. So it's up to me, because flat on my back, not doing anything is a kind of vacation.
I can see that.
The first question that you had here was about the Howard the Duck. Did I know about the collection? No, I didn't know about the collection. And was I paid a royalty? No, it was. Both of those were work made for hire, so those are 100% owned by Marvel Comics.
Okay. Because I know that sometimes they pay royalties on stuff, but usually when it's making money.
What's that?
I know that they sometimes will pay royalties on stuff, but it's usually when they're making money on it and they have extra money and, okay, you made Thanos, we'll give you some money.
Right. I mean, it was a risk on my part because, I could be buying a ticket to the Bulky Duck movie premiere and, having absolutely no cut out of the $18 billion that the Bulky Duck movie was going to make. But that's the risk you take with work made for hire.
Okay. So you don't have a copy?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it does seem like a weird kind of mix that they would still have the Dave Sims frontispiece on the title page, but also know that I did a Howard page for whatever comic book that was.
The Marvel Fanfare whatever issue, yeah.
Marvel Fanfare, yeah. Because it's like, well, if you know that Dave Sim did 2 Howard pieces for you, why don't you know how to spell his last name?
Well, it's misspelled in the actual Howard number 8, where it was first printed, but it's correct in the collection title page. And you're listed.
Oh, it is.
You're listed like 3 or 4 times as penciler, inker, letterer. I think maybe even colorist.
Okay, all right. Well, no, this is the first that I've heard of this. So it's interesting this many years later on. I thought it was you were saying that the Dave Sims frontispiece still read that way in the reprint.
Well, they reprint that front piece, and they reprint the title page for Howard number 8. So the collection is the whole magazine except for ads. So in the original magazine where they misspelled it, it's still misspelled in the collection, but the front piece with the credit page for the actual collection has it listed as writers Steve Gerber with Dave Sim and all the other writers. Pencilers, a bunch of Gene Colan, Marshall Rogers, Alan Cooperberg, Paul Smith, Val Merrick, Brian Hitch, James Fry, and Pat Broderick with Dave Sim, Ned Sontag, Mary Severin, Jim Reddington, and Jim Lee. And the same with the inkers. It's with Dave Sim. I'm like,
okay,
that's kind of weird. It's just a weird way of doing it. But
I suppose so they're just being authentic.
Yeah.
Reprinting the title page with the misspelling.
Yeah. That's towards the end of the collection. They have there was a She-Hulk issue where Howard guest starred and was supposed to have a cover by I forget who, but the cover was delayed, so they used a fill-in. Well, it was solicited as having a cover by, I think, Brian Hitch. And so in the letters page, there's a 2-page spread with Howard, and they're explaining what happened, and they reprint that because it's got Howard in it.
Right.
When they say complete collection, they mean complete collection.
Right. Gotcha.
But,
okay, well, yeah. However, they keep track of things over there, and they've got such a volume of material to keep track of at this point. That's very impressive that they even knew that there were 2 Dave Sim Howard the Duck pieces to reprint, because they're very, very different environments they appeared in.
Yeah. Well, that's, my friend lent me the collection, and I'm like, okay, and I open it up, like, oh, it's got Howard number 8. And then I'm flipping through it, I'm like, at the back, it's got the pinup from Marvel Fanfare, and I'm like, they weren't kidding. Complete collection, volume 4.
Unless we're forgetting something.
I don't...
You did three Howard the Ducks for Mark. No, I'm just making that up.
And now everyone's going to start searching for... You just got to say that, oh yeah, I did a fill-in on some random issue where Howard showed up, and everybody will dig in the long boxes, and it'll shoot up in the Overstreet Guide.
Right. Or I ghosted a page for Bill Mantlo. And have everybody try and figure out which page did Dave Sim write for Bill Mantlo.
Let's...
Steve's question, where he was asking about... I wondered what, if anything, Dave would like to have to add to the archive, apart from original art pages. Yeah, that would definitely be something that I'd be interested in. I don't know if that's going to be possible in the future during the Eddie Kana administration or his successor's administration. I think one of the things that would interest me, because this is an ongoing history for me. It's in which the Cerebus fans are definitely becoming a contextual centerpiece. I don't want to make the last 92 Cerebus fans really, really self-conscious. But I don't think there's any way to avoid making the last 92 Cerebus fans really, really self-conscious. I think you will be of interest to future generations as to how you managed to resist the lynch mob mentality that said this is a guy and his work that you definitely need to abandon if you don't want to become pariahs yourself. So part of me is interested in finding out how many of the last 92 Cerebus fans think that they will be in, assuming that the group is just going to keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Now that we're down to double digits, who thinks that they're going to be one of the last single-digit Cerebus fans somewhere up ahead? And can you write a 1 or 2 page biography of yourself, sort of focusing on that? What is it about you that is so odd that you just, no matter how much pressure there is to abandon this guy and to abandon his work, you won't abandon him and you won't abandon his work? I mean, if you were trying to do that for Michael Jackson, you're talking about, I don't know, how many Michael Jackson fans are there still? But I imagine they number in the millions, or at least the hundreds of thousands, or however many there is. and there would just be no way to store that much information. But with the latest Kickstarter, I think there's like 92 backers. That would be my criteria. These are the people who continue to be front and center, and Dave Sim's asking for $9 from me. Dave Sim is going to get my $9. Are you just natural contrarian, or is there something else to it? And if there's something else to it, what is that something else for you as an individual Dave Sim fan and Cerebus fan?
For me, part of it is because when Tim said, hey, anybody wanted to take this job, I said, okay, so I'm in for the long haul. But why I still like Cerebus is, I mean, the whole series is great, but the 4-page Death of Death, every time I read it, takes me to this special happy place that just makes me giggle. When death dies in flight, every time I read it, I get the, well, fuck me, and I'm like, yeah, I've had that day. It just makes me laugh every single time.
I think maybe that's part of it. I don't know if that would be, that might be everybody's experience with different parts of Cerebus. That somebody who wrote that and somebody who created that, and I always have this invariable positive reaction to it. Like, you can't really fake laughter. You either find it funny or you don't find it funny. And if you do find it funny, that's the problem that they got in Red China. Is if people are laughing, it's very difficult to explain to them that they don't find that funny. No, I'm laughing, so I find that funny. Anyway, that if anybody has the available time who is on that last 92 Cerebus fans, I don't know what's going on out in the actual comic book stores. The 1,700, is that just 500 stores who are buying 3 copies each that they've never been able to sell a copy, or what is the actual sell-through? That's another kind of loyalty that I wouldn't ask a store owner to put their neck on the chopping block by saying, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Dave Sim helped me pay my rent for 20 years or whatever it was. So